Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Welcome to the session. Can you hear me? If yes, please type yes in the chat box if you can hear me as a confirmations. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining this session. We had a good number of participants, and it's like most of the time it's like a reunion. Thank you very much to see all the participants rejoining again from different batches to learn about shell scripting. Let's stop the chat. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please let's stop the chat. Let us stop the chat. Yes. Yes, let us stop the chat. Okay. This is Sunil Kopavarapu. I'm based out of Hyderabad. So I have total 10 years of experience. Started my career with Oracle and then changed into AWS DevOps, worked on Python. So whatever the knowledge I have with respect to shell scripting, I am planning to share this particular knowledge in this particular course. Okay, so this is about a quick introduction about myself. Participants wants to have a talk, okay, about the course content. Okay, anyways, I'll teach you. Okay, any specific questions you want to have a discussion, please raise your hand. We'll have an interaction, but we'll spend some time, close to 10 minutes. We'll have an interaction. Once we are done with the interaction, we will get into the agenda for today's session. Okay, to start with, good evening, Suresh. Why? How are you doing? Can you hear me? May I know your name, your location, your experience, any
Hi,
specific reason? Welcome, Suresh.
hi Sunil. Good evening.
Good evening, Suresh. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah,
Yes. Your experience?
I have 16 years experience
Mm-hmm.
in Azure Active Directory and Windows Active Directory.
Wow, very good. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Present, I required as per project requirement, I required shell scripting in Python.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
am joining
So
here.
you have any idea on shell scripting or you are completely new to it?
Completely new.
You
Actually,
are
yeah, correct.
okay. Okay. Good, Suresh. As you know, the importance of shell scripting is keeping on growing in the cloud platforms. Am I right, Suresh? Especially
Yes,
in automation also. Okay. So I'm sure you will enjoy the sessions. Okay.
thank you,
Thank
Sunil.
you very much. Please drop your hands once you are done with your discussion. Good evening, Salima. How are you? Your location, your experience, please. You are now allowed to unmute and talk. Sahaya Salima.
Uh, am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, hi Sunil. Totally, I have 6 years experience. Currently, I am in maternity leave, so next I plan to join. I'm back to work. So I wish to learn some new knowledge, and that's why I joined.
So how many years of experience you're having?
6 years
On which platform?
support.
Okay, production
TWS
support.
admin. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. Salima, I'm sure you'll enjoy the sessions. Thank you very much.
Thank.
Good evening, Banu Prakash. How are you?
Hi, Sunil. Good evening.
Good evening, Banu. I think you are from my old participant,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah. Actually, earlier you have taught us about the Python, right? I
Correct.
mean, it's been 1 year. Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
good to see you again.
Thank you, Banu.
Yeah, I'm having around 3 years of experience in the mainframes technology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Okay.
now I'm planning to move to the cloud side along with the DevOps. So shell
Mm.
scripting is it's like
Important.
a yeah, it's very important. So that's the reason we have joined this class. And that too,
Sure.
when we get the notification like we are having classes from the Sunil means that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Banu. So, like previous courses, you will also enjoy this particular training. Thank you
Yes,
very much,
yes.
Banu. Okay.
Yeah, thank you,
Nice to
Sunil.
talk to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny Tomo. How are you doing?
Yes, hello. Doing great, thank you.
Your location, your experience, please.
United States and a database DBA. That's Postgres database DBA. I've been working for the past 4 to 5 years.
Okay. Any specific reason why are you planning to learn shell scripting?
Yes, because I did it all the time to write script in database, maybe to run some jobs or to automate some jobs.
Exactly. Shell scripting is very much important for database administration, for automation, is it? As
Yeah,
well as for
very
middleware engineers also, as well as cloud and
Yes.
DevOps engineers also. Okay. So
Yes,
you
extremely
are also
important.
my old participant, am I right? Tamu?
Yes, I am. I've attended your AWS class and I also started the DevOps class I also did the DevOps class too in the past.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Enjoy the shell scripting as well.
Yeah, thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much. Good evening, Fazal. How are you doing? Can you hear me, Fazal?
Yes, sir. Hi, Sunil. How are you, sir?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm good, sir. So it's been 1 year, sir. After Python, we have joined now, sir, for shell
Thank you.
script.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. So Sunil, sir, I have total years of like 6 years of experience into operations thing, and shell scripting is main part which I am
Very,
looking
very
for
important.
now.
Mhm.
So
Shell
even I am in mainframe, sir.
You are?
I am into mainframe operations,
Okay.
sir.
Even shell scripting is used in mainframes also. Is it?
Yes.
So it's very important. So shell scripting is having a wide usage. It's good for Linux administrators. Okay,
Yes, sir.
for DevOps engineers. Okay, for middleware administrators, for database administrators. It's something which is commonly used. Okay, so that's the reason I have scheduled this particular batch. Puzzle.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sure you'll enjoy this training. Thank you very much.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Sridhar. Good evening, Sridhar. How are you doing? You are now allowed to unmute and talk, Sridhar Bandari.
Yeah, hi, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, Sridhar. How are you doing?
Well, thank you so much, Sunil, firstly. And yeah, I'm good. And how are you, Sunil?
I'm doing well. You're from US, am I right?
I'm from Germany.
Oh, yeah, Germany.
Yeah.
I remember.
Well, so just to let you know, I've got around 12 plus years of experience and I'm working as a backup and storage administrator. And yeah, day to day, we log in into a lot of Windows and Linux clients and also AIX. And during this course, we also deal with a lot of new configuration of setting up backups for new clients, mainly for Windows and Linux. So as a part of this backup configurations, we have many database coming into picture. So while setting up the database backups, yeah, we make use of many scripts. So that is the reason I'm here, because I
Correct.
want to get more and more into shell scripting.
So you know basics, Sridhar?
Quite a bit, I would say. Quite a bit. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now you'll have completely enrolled. You will have a complete A to Z of the shell scripting, so either like a huge batch. Okay. You'll enjoy
Yeah.
the training.
I'm just hoping that I can, provide
Def-
more time here because this is actually in the middle of my
Job.
daily work actually.
Okay.
So hopefully I'll be available as much as possible.
Please try to be regular. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome, Jogamaya. How are you?
Hello.
Hi, Jogamaya. How are you doing?
Yeah. Good evening, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. When I came to know that you are going to take this self-scripting, so I'm so excited to join.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, totally, how many years of experience you're having now?
Actually, previously, as you know, previously I was working in state government. Because of you only, I moved to IT and worked on AWS and did the certification as well. So
Good.
now it's 1.0 of experience, and
Mhm.
want to work on DevOps, but not getting opportunity.
Okay.
So yeah, but whenever you are coming with a new topic, I'm just excited to join so that I will get
So this is
new.
also your working hours now?
Sorry?
Are you, this is working hours for you?
No, I'm working in support. So the working hour is morning shift now.
Okay, so you're done with your working hours.
Yeah.
Okay. So enjoy the learning. Shell scripting is very important for cloud engineers, Yogamaya. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Thank you,
stay
Sunil.
focused and get the most of it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Couple of more calls, then we will be getting into the planned course. Good evening, Bhaskar 14.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
How are you, Bhaskar?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you?
Doing well. Yes, thank you very much. Your location, your
Uh,
experience.
yes, sir. I'm from Hyderabad only.
Mhm.
I'm having around 9 years of experience, sir. I'm into middleware like WebSphere, IBM tool WebSphere.
Okay.
So, sir, is there any interlink between this shell scripting and Jython scripting, sir? Like any
No,
connection between
there
this?
is no link between shell scripting and Jython scripting.
Okay. There is
But
no.
it's good to, do you know shell scripting?
Not completely, sir. I have some basic idea on this.
Good to know shell scripting. You may never know when you need this. Okay,
Yeah.
knowledge. Okay.
I accept that. Yeah.
Because all the Linux platforms can be shell scripting will helpful for people who are communicating with Linux, isn't it, Bhaskar? And Linux is there almost all types of architecture, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Any kind of scenarios, real-time scenarios will be covering in this
Maybe at the end.
at the
Okay.
end.
We will do
Okay.
it. Okay. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Bhaskar. Final call before getting into the planned schedule. Satyanarayana, good evening.
Yeah, hi Sunil.
Good evening,
It's
Satya.
been it has been for 2 years. Actually, I attended your AWS training.
Evening batch, I think so. Am I right? You have attended my evening
Yes.
sessions, isn't it, Satya?
Yes, almost 2 years back. Yes, Sunil.
Correct.
So let me introduce myself. This is Satyanarayana. So I have totally 14 plus years of experience, and mainly I am into the middleware administration. So as a middleware administration, we need to know the shell scripting mostly. So because of that, I am here to upgrade
Thank you,
the skills
Satya.
of
Thank you for
scripting.
staying in the WhatsApp group for those many number of years. Okay. Good to
And
know
also,
that.
I'm attending this Terraform class, Ankit class.
Yes,
Now
thank you.
it's a
Thank
fresh
you.
batch. It's
Thank you
going right,
very much.
290.
Yeah. Thank you, Satya. So have you
Thank
any
you,
time
sir.
learned shell scripting by yourself, or do you have some knowledge?
Yes, I have some knowledge. So I want to get into more. So
more detail.
Anyhow, it will be helpful, right?
Yeah.
So mostly
rather than learning
forget
in bits
some
and
things, right? So it will be
rather than
refresh.
learning bits and pieces whenever required.
Yeah.
Okay. More scheduled way of learning will make us more better understanding, isn't it, Satya?
Yes, that's true. Yes.
Generally, we try to troubleshoot ourselves as per the requirement. That's all. Okay. This time it will be more detailed course. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sure you'll enjoy the training. Thank you, Satya.
Thank you, sir.
Perfect. Okay. So as you know, we will have a day-wise agenda. This is our plan for the today's session. What is shell scripting? We directly jump into practicals, as you know. We learn the process of how can we write a first shell script and how can we run the shell script. Okay. As we know, as I go, our training will be up to the point. Okay. So more technical. We'll understand the term shell. Shell scripting. So what does it mean by shell? You have to know what I mean by the term shell. How to say list of all the shells, how to know the default shell. And when we write a shell script, you need to comment a particular line. We'll also learn how can we comment. So this is all about getting into the basics of shell scripting. Okay. For that, I just want to inform you this, the duration of this particular course is approximately 20 to 25 days. Each session 1 hour, like how we have scheduled today, we will start at 5:30 p.m. As per Indian Standard Time. It will be 1 hour per day, only on Monday to Friday. Okay, perfect. Live training is absolutely free. The Zoom link what you have used for joining day 1, the link will remain the same for rest of all the duration. Let's say for 25 days, of course, the link will not change because it's a free training, live training. As you have joined today, the same link will be active for the rest of all the sessions. So live training is free, but not recordings. For recordings, you have to pay 999 rupees for the lifetime access of the recordings. Okay. Whereas the live training is absolutely free. So this is about the quick introduction about the course, about the course. Okay. Let's get into the plan for shell scripting. Okay. Look at this. Please look at this. Yeah, as mentioned, duration 25 days, each session 1 hour, 5 days a week, 5:30 to 6:30 as per Indian Standard Time, and it is live training is absolutely free. Shell scripting is very important for people who are working in Linux administrations, DevOps engineers, cloud engineers, database administrators. So shell scripting is very, very widely used. What is a prerequisite to learn this course? Can anybody learn this course? What is the prerequisite for shell scripting? It is recommended, it is very important that all the participants should have basic understanding about basic Linux commands. Okay, so if you are good in basic Linux commands, that's enough. Okay, if you're not good in basic Linux commands, I request you to spend some time learning basics of Linux. It's very easy. Anybody can learn by themselves. Basic Linux commands, please try to be comfortable. Rest of things I will take care. Okay. Okay. Now, let's get into the concept of what is shell scripting. What do you mean by this? Shell scripting. What do you mean by this? On a high level, let's try to understand what do you mean by shell scripting, more practical approach. To show you what is the practical concept of this term shell scripting. So I have the environment ready with me. We will have an interaction, no doubt. Don't worry. Participants who are raising their hands will have an interaction. To show you what I mean by shell scripting, let me start a Linux machine. So this is a Linux machine. Let me start the Linux machine. I have installed Linux machine on VMware. We'll be executing all our commands and all our shell scripting programs on Red Hat Linux. This is the Linux machine, participants. We all are aware of Linux machine. I'm opening a terminal. I'm opening a terminal. Okay. Let me increase the font size for better visibility. Now I hope it is very clear and visible. Let's get into the concept of what is shell scripting. Look at this. I want to run 3 Linux commands. I want to run 3 Linux commands. One is uname. There's a Linux command called uname, which will provide you the operating system name. What operating system it is? It is a Linux operating system. Look at this. there is a Linux command called uname, which will give you the operating system. So this is a Linux operating system. Okay. There's one more Linux command called pwd, stands for print working directory. It will show you the current path in which we are working. pwd. Currently, I'm working with /root. This is the current path which I'm working. This is second Linux command. The third Linux command is who, which will be the current user using which I have logged in. Who refers to the current user. I have currently connected with root user. The username which I have used for connecting to this particular Linux machine is root user. Who refers to the current user. PWS refers to the print working directly. Currently, I'm pointing to /root. Uname is a Linux command which is providing our operating system, that is Linux operating system. Next. There's a command called hostname, which will give the name of the machine. So you can define your own hostname. So the hostname of this particular Linux machine is the hostname is nothing but providing a name to this particular Linux machine. It is localhost.local domain. So the point what I want to tell you is that I have executed 3 commands. As you can see, or 4 commands I have executed. As you can see, we have executed uname, which will give us the operating system. pwd, which will give us the current working directory, that is print working directory. Who refers to the gives the users which are currently logged in. Currently, there's only one user who was logged in. And hostname will give you the hostname. Okay, is that nothing but the system? Instead of running 4 commands, can I make my work easy? Let's say I want to run this 4 commands every day. Let's say I want to run this 4 commands every day. I want to make my job very easy. Instead of running 4 commands every day, these set of 4 commands, I can write it in the form of a file. These 4 Linux command, uname, pwd, print working directory, who or hostname, what are the set of commands you want to run regularly? If your plan is, if your requirement is to run some set of commands every day, so instead of running individual commands, better all those commands, write it in a file. And run the file. That makes your job very easy. The file gets executed, all the commands which are mentioned in that file that gets executed. So that's nothing but a shell script. I want to write a shell script to find out the following details. I want to know my operating system. I want to know the user which are connected to the server. I want to know today's date. I want to know the hosting. This is my requirement. I want to know some information about this Linux machine. I want to know today's date. I want to know the name, who is connected, what is the operating system, what is the host name of this particular machine. I want to get this information. If you want to get all this 4 information, right, rather than running each and every command, better to write it in the form of a file. Those set of commands, it could be 4 commands or it could be 40 commands. The set of commands which you want to run it, don't run that command individually. Set of commands, write it in the form of a file. I'm doing it now. Please have a look at it. I want to create a directory first because all my files, I want to place it in one folder. As you know, directory is nothing but a folder. So let me create a directory. I want to create a directory with the name Sunil. And I want to enter into that particular directory, CDs. So let me create a directory, mkdir, which helps you to create a directory. The name of the directory is Sunil. Directory gets created. You can see the directory. This is the directory which I just now created. With my name, let me enter into that particular directory. Sunil. Yes, now I'm entering into that particular directory. Now I'm pointing to this particular Sunil directory. In this particular Sunil directory, I want to create a file. In that file, I want to place some set of 4 commands. Okay. That particular file, which helps us in running the set of commands, what you have mentioned, is nothing but a shell script. On a high level, a shell script, is nothing but a collection of Linux commands as of now, which helps me in running that set of commands. So let me create my first shell script. Important note, a shell script is a file where we'll mention some 4 commands or 5 commands or whatever number of commands. You can mention that in that particular file. Shell script is file with extension .sh. It is not it's a common practice. It's not mandatory. Very important points. Do not be under the impression that every shell script file should be .extension.sh. No. It's recommended. The industry standard is shell scripts are saved with extension.sh, because whenever you see list of all the files, you can see .sh files. You can identify, okay, this is a shell script. It's not mandatory. It's recommended. So let's follow the industry standard. I will be creating my first shell script. A shell script is nothing but a file with extension.sh. I will be creating that file using the VI editor. Participants, if you do not know VI editor, so don't worry. So it's used for creating some files in Linux. Spend some time learning about VI editor. So I'm not discussing about VI editor. So I'm creating a file. The name of the file is sample.sh. In that particular sample.sh file, my plan is to run some set of 4 commands, right? But before that, it's not 4 commands. Let me write a simple one command called echo command. Echo is a command which prints some output in the terminal. Whenever you want some characters to be displayed on the terminal, we have echo command. So the same, I want to display hello world in the terminal. So I'll be using echo command like printf or print commands in other programming languages. So I want to display some characters on the screen. So I'm using this echo command. So my first shell script is one line. That's an echo command. Whatever you want to print, I want to print some words like hello world on the screen. So whatever you want to print it, you have to mention it in double quotes. Let me create my first shell script. Let me create my first shell script. VI. File name can be anything. I'm naming it as sample.sh is my shell script name. I'm opening the shell script. My shell script is having only one line. That's an echo command. Let me go to insert mode, echo command, and I want to print something like hello world. I'm done with my writing one line of echo command. So my shell script is only one line of code. Escape to come out of the insert mode, :WQ to save and quit. I'm done with creating my shell script. ls to see list of all the files. Right now, I have only one shell script in my directory, that is sample.sh. Your shell script is having only one line of code, that is an echo statement. Okay, so we have created the first shell script. Points to know, it's recommended to have an extension.sh. On a high level shell script helps in setting off running some set of commands at once. I have created my first shell script. I want to run the shell script. I want to run the shell script. If you want to run the shell script, sh is a command which helps you to run the shell script, and the file name which you want to run. The file name what you want to run is sample.sh. sh, mention the file name which you want to run. This is the file name which I want to run. Sample.sh. Participants, are you able to get the output on the terminal? Echo command helps in giving output on the terminal. So I'm able to see the output as hello world. That's it. Participants, we are done achieving our first most important target of creating a shell script. Please respond in the chat box. Am I comfortable? Am I clear? On a high level, because in basics are very important. What is a very important point you came to know? Every shell script is recommended to have an extension.sh. Shell script is nothing but as of now a file which is helping in running some set of commands. So I have created a shell script and I have executed the first shell script. Let's proceed and go ahead and create my second shell script. Let me go ahead and create my second shell script. Before going ahead and creating my second example to run some set of 4 commands, what do you mean by shell? We are running a course. We are learning a course called shell script or shell scripting. So what do you mean by shell? So let's learn more about it. If you look at this meaning of the term shell, a shell is a Linux command line interpreter. Don't worry about the technical jargons. What is command line? That's don't worry about this. Let's make it simplified. Hold on. Interpreter is a program. A Linux is a command line interpreter, or in simple, a shell is a command line interpreter. In other words, it's a program. A shell is a program. It provides an interface between user and kernel. Again, kernel, don't worry about what is kernel. It's nothing but an operating system. Linux operating system, understand that's its kernel. So a shell is a program which is acting like a mediator between user and the operating system and executes the commands. So shell is a program that will execute the commands in simple way. If a user enters a command, let's say I'm entering a command called ls. In my terminal, I'm running a Linux command called ls. ls will help us listing all the files. I'm entering a command. The moment I enter the command, who will run the command? Who will execute this particular command? The moment I enter and press enter, the moment I write ls command and I press enter, shell will run the program. Shell will run this particular program. So shell is a program which helps in running the command. As a user, you will enter the command, but the command should be executed. So shell is a program that helps in executing the commands which are entered by the user. Shell is a program. The responsibility of the shell is to run the commands. As a user, you will enter the commands. PWD, print working directory. The moment I enter, the command is getting executed. Whose responsibility to execute the command? The shell is responsible for executing the command. Shell is a program. Don't think it's complex. Shell is a small program. The duty of the shell is to run the commands what you have entered. As a user of Linux, you will be entering some commands. Shell is a program that will help in running the commands or executing the commands and gives you the desired output. Simple as that. Shell is a communicator. It's a mediator between user and Linux. As simple as that. Clear? What's there in it? Shell is a program. Am I clear? Please respond in the chat box. So if I'm writing a program call, if I'm writing a command call, something like mkdir, I'm creating a directory, something like D1. Is that command getting executed? Yes. Who is executing it? Tell me. Shell is executing this command. As a user, we have to write the command, but shell responsibility is to run the command. That's it. The shell is a mediator between the Linux operating system and the user. Simple. Technology is simple. By reading too many lines of theory, we make ourselves complicated. Simple. Shell is a program which is written using C language. Shell is a program. The responsibility of the program is to run the commands which are entered by the user. That's all. Okay, perfect. So now we had an understanding about what is shell. Super. Okay, we have an understanding about what is shell. So shell is a program. Next point is interesting thing. A shell is a program which runs the command to see list of shells. There are a lot of shells available. There are a lot of shells available. That means there are a lot of programs available to run the commands which you have entered by the user. To see list of all the shells, participants, to see list of all the shells, cat command is used to see list of all the shells. Cat / all the shells are available, programs are available in etc shell. These are all the shells available. Born shell, born again shell, Z shell. These are all shells. This means realize that there are many shells available. SS stands for born shell, bash stands for born again shell, ZHL stands for Z shell. There are many shells available in this Red Hat Linux. That means there are many programs available to run the commands what you have entered. But the default shell, there will be one default shell. If you want to know the default shell, if you want to know the default shell, echo $shell will help you to give the default shell. The default shell is /bin/bash. This is the default shell. So I have executed pwd, I have entered the command pwd, the command got executed. So which shell has executed? Bash shell has executed. Because that's the default shell. That's a default shell. So bash shell is executing commands, whatever, right from the commands which are executing. So whichever I have entered, so that all those commands are executed by using bash. The default shell is bash. Okay, perfect. So you know about shell. Shell is a program. So it's not one shell. You also came to know that there are many shells available, and there is something called default shell. Now you're in a position to know the default shell. That's good. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead with second shell program. The first shell script which we have executed is to print some output hello world in the terminal. Now, second shell, I want to run some set of commands. Those set of commands, I write it in a shell script. A shell script, as we know, it's recommended to create a shell script with the name .sh is extension. Sample one is my second shell script. And how many commands I'm entering? 4 commands I'm writing. Uname, which will give you the operating system name. Who am I? The current user. Date will print the current date. Host name is nothing but the server name. These 4 commands, I'm writing it in one particular shell script. That is sample1.sh. Let's do it. Creating a file using the BI editor. File name can be anything, sample1. What should be the extension? .sh. First, go to insert mode. First command, Linux command is uname. Second command, who am I, which will know the current user, which will enter the current user. Date is a Linux command, which will print the current date, and host name will give you the host name. Host name is nothing but the server name. These are the 4 Linux commands, which I want to run it in one shot. I don't want to run it individually by writing commands. All these commands I want to run it in one shot. So all these commands I have created, entered in the form of a file. That's nothing but a shell file. Escape to come out of the insert mode. :WQ to save. Is the file created? Yes, the file is been created. What is the name of the file? Sample1.sh. And I want to run this particular file. How to run this file? You already know it, participants. How to run this file? You already know it. sh and the file name. What's the file name? Sample1.sh. Look at this. For the uname command, the operating system output is Linux. Who am I is nothing but the current user currently overlogged in root. Date is giving us the current date. Host name is nothing but the host name. Now tell me, instead of running 4 Linux commands, okay, so what I have done, I have created a file and I have entered those 4 Linux commands in that particular file. That file is nothing but the shell script, and I executed the file. As simple as that. This is my second shell program. So shell is helping us to run some set of commands. Shell is helping us to run certain set of commands. Clear? Clear about this? A shell is a program, participants. A shell is a program. But the responsibility of the program is to run the commands what is entered. I'm writing a command called clear. As a user, I'm entering a command called clear. So what this clear command, who will be executing this clear command? Shell will be executing this particular clear command, and it got clear. Clear? Clear about this? So the most important point of today's session is understanding the term called shell. The most important point of today's session is understanding a term called shell. Look at the theory. A shell is a command line interpreter. Interpreter is nothing but it will execute line by line. I'll have more detailed explanation about what is interpreter. It's a program. A shell is a program which acts like an interface, is a mediator between user and kernel. Kernel is nothing but operating system and executes the commands. If a user enters a list command, ls is nothing but list command, shell will execute that particular list command. So in simple, shell is a program which helps in running the commands. And you also came to know that there are a lot of commands, there are a lot of shells available. There are a lot of shells available, and you also now in a position to know what is the default shell. Yes, Kalpana. Good evening. Clear about what you mean by shell? A question. I can see your hand raised, Kalpana. Okay, no questions. That's okay. How are you, Harish?
I'm doing good, Sunil. How are you doing? Thank you.
Well, thank you, Harish.
Yeah, so we can run this shell script in a normal Windows terminal, or we need to install
No, this is specific to Linux. Okay.
Okay.
Whatever we are learning is a bash shell specific to Linux operating system. Okay, Harish?
Okay. So we need not
In
to
Windows,
install.
it is different concept called PowerShell. Okay.
Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Yes, Preeti.
Yeah, hi Sunil. So
Yeah.
my question is that, like which shell we should use when, like, we
Okay.
can use any shell. Uh,
You can use any shell. Okay.
so there
But
is
here, but the most widely used shell is Bash.
okay.
Okay. The
Mm.
most widely used shell in the industry is Bash. What does Bash stands for? Preeti? Have you
Born,
observed? I have
born,
mentioned here.
born again shell.
Correct.
Yeah.
Look at this. Born again shell. If you just SH refers to born shell. So the most widely used is Bash shell. Okay. And as you have observed, this default shell. Am I right, Preeti?
Yes.
Okay. So you can also change the default shell, but the most widely used shell is Bash shell. Okay.
So there must be some extra feature in this shell. It is not like that.
There are small changes with respect to syntaxes. We'll discuss that.
Okay. Okay, Sunil. Thank
Clear,
you.
Preeti? Whatever we
Yes.
have learned.
Yes.
Okay. Let's move on. I want to have a quick understanding on, I want to show you, we also should have a good understanding on Linux file structure. Okay. It's very important with respect to shell scripting. You should have a good understanding on Linux file system hierarchy. Like in Windows, we have C drive and we have D drive, and in C drive also we have some predefined folders, system folder, okay, and many other folders in the same way. Linux operating system will also have some predefined file structure. The topmost directory is called as root directory. Okay, this is called as slash. This refers to root. The topmost directory is root. Under root, you will have many other directories: bin, system bin, home, temporary, user, etc, optional, media, root, variable. These are directories. Whenever you install a Linux operating system, you will get some set of directories. There is importance for each and every directory. So what is bin directory? What is sbin directory? What is home directory? There's importance between all these directories. Okay. So let's spend some time understanding about the Linux file system hierarchy, because it is very, very important as a to have an understanding on shell scripting. Look at this. I'm talking about the Linux file structure. It's always good to have an understanding about the Linux file structure. In the Linux operating system, files are stored in the tree structure, in the hierarchical structure, starting with root directory. This is the root directory, as you can see, starting with so the topmost directory is nothing but the root. This is called as root directory. Okay. Now, there are some other directories. We have, can you see here? Bin, sbin. Sbin stands for system binaries. This sbin full form is system binaries. Home is nothing but the default home directory. Temp is nothing but temporary state. USR stands for user system resources, generally called as user directory. The actual abbreviation is user system resources. ETC, actual name is editable text configurations. Whenever you want to configure changes to configure, whenever you want to make some changes to the applications which are installed, So that corresponding changes you have to do it. Configuration related files will be available in the etc directory. OPT stands for optional directory. Okay, we have media. Whenever you insert a pen drive or a removable media, this particular directory gets highlighted, activated. We have root, we have variables. So let's learn about this particular file system hierarchy. Starting with bin, stands for binaries. This bin stands for binaries. The abbreviation of this term bin stands for binaries. Okay, so this particular folder contains binaries which are used for when a user runs a command. As a user, Linux user, I'm running some cat command. I'm running a copy command. Okay, I'm running some list commands. I'll be running some hundreds of commands. Okay, those commands, when user is entering that commands, it needs some binaries to get executed. Those binaries will be available in the bin directory. Okay, perfect. Next. There's one more directory called sbin, stands for system binaries. This particular system binaries are used when root user performs some actions. Participants, there are two types of users in Linux. I'll explain more in detail in the coming classes, but as of now, remember that there are two types of users, normal user and root user. Normal user and root user. Right now, can you see when in the terminal you're getting hash prompt? Hash prompt refers to root user. Currently, I'm working with root user. Currently, I'm working with root user. Hash prompt indicates root user. There's something called dollar prompt indicates normal user. In the coming classes, you'll be experiencing normal users also. We have a complete user management where we learn how can we create users and all the stuff. There are two types of users. Root user will have high-level privileges. Root user can have control operating or can have full control of the operating system. So when root user runs some commands related to system maintenance, when root user runs commands related to system maintenance, then system binaries are used. Root user will be regularly running this kind of commands like init or ifconfig. So when he's running some commands related to system maintenance, where normal users are not authorized to do it, so that particular commands will refer to this particular system binaries. Home, whenever you create a new user, there will be a default home directory gets created under home. Temporary directory stands for temporary state, generally cleared when we reboot the machine. Okay, whenever we uninstall some applications, so the temporary space will be clear. USR stands for user system resources, which will contain shareable read-only data. There is some read-only data which are shareable across multiple users. That particular information will be available in the USR directory. Stands for user directory generally. ETC stands for editable text configurations, used to modify behavior of application on which are installed on Linux. Whenever we install applications on top of Linux, whenever you want to change the behavior of applications, then you have to change the configuration files. Those configuration files will be available in ETC. Especially if you look at Ansible configuration files will also be available in etc/Ansible. So to change the configuration information of application, so etc directory is used. OPT stands for optional. This is a location where we install softwares which are not managed by package management or by if you want to install some third-party softwares. Whenever you want to install this third-party softwares, this optional folder will be used. Media. This particular folder contains files and directories. Whenever removal media is inserted, whenever you insert a pen drive, that particular files will be available that will be displayed in the media directory. Root is nothing but super users root directory. Root refers to super users root directory. This is super users root directory is root. Okay. Var stands for variable, which contains variable data. In Linux, there are few files which will continuously keep on changing regularly. Some log files will be keep on generating, some cache files will be keep on getting generated. So wherever variable data is a variable, whenever the files are keeping on frequently changing, generally that will be available in the var folder called stands for variable directory. So this is a quick information about the default file structure. This is how the Linux file structure looks like. Okay, spend some time learning, experiencing about this Linux file structure. If you have Linux operating system, connect to Linux operating system and look at all these files and spend some time understanding more about this kind of Linux file system hierarchy. Clear? Yes, Harish.
I just want to know for this new microservices, most of the directory structure are in the same format as for Linux.
Yes, you are right. That's
so So we would be using the same kind of configuration.
Whatever the information which I've used need not be the same in microservices. Okay. The usage of that particular folder differs. Okay. Naming conventions could be the same. Okay, Harish.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes, Ram. Good evening.
Hi, Sunil. Good evening. Hello?
Yes, Ram, we can hear you. Please proceed.
Good evening. Right now you're teaching in Linux, in
Red Hat Linux.
Red Hat Linux, but I know only Ubuntu.
That's okay. No problem.
It is similar to Linux.
Very well. All the flavors are almost similar. Few changes with respect to package management. We need to concern. So, but majority you can execute it in other flavors of Linux also. Okay, Ram?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. You may know your experience, Ram.
I have a 3 years experience in AWS engineer.
Okay.
Right now I'm working.
You know shell scripting or you completely new?
No. No.
Okay, so in your day-to-day work environments, did you find any need for learning shell scripting?
Yes. Yes.
It's good and advantage, am I right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I'm a AWS
participant.
Yeah.
Which year? 1 year back?
No. I got 3 years.
3 years back.
Yeah, 74 batch, I think.
Oh, very long background.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It is a very helpful to me. Thank you.
I think in the COVID time.
Yeah.
Before COVID.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good, Ram. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, Shivani. Any technical question?
Hi, Sunil. Hello.
Good evening. Yes, Shivani.
Yeah, good evening. Actually, I have a query regarding means can I use easy to machine?
Yes. Create an easy to machine with Red Hat. Whatever we are learning now, you can execute it in the easy to machine.
Just because VMware not there in my system.
No problem. You need a Red Hat Linux. That's all. It could be on cloud also, or it could be on your laptop. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay, Shivan.
Okay, and what about major difference between the shell script and power script?
PowerShell, not PowerShell.
PowerShell. Yeah, sorry. PowerShell and shell
PowerShell
script.
is used for Windows operating system.
But work like same?
Same, different. Concept is same, but it is different. Okay. Okay, Shivan.
Yeah, okay. That's it. Thank you.
Ganesh, how are you?
Hey Sunil, how are you?
Doing well, Ganesh.
Yeah. Like when will AWS course will start? My uncle referred to you, like you know Sridhar. He's from US.
Okay. See, okay. So you have an idea on the website?
Yeah, I have experience on this automation testing.
No. Have you looked at our website?
No, sir, I don't know your website. Today I joined this session. Okay.
So especially for newcomers, this is the website which I'm sharing in the chat box. You have to go to this website, logiclabstech.com. I just mentioned in the chat. Okay, Ganesh. So go to upcoming batches. Here, these are the upcoming batches: Python, Linux, cybersecurity, Scrum. Okay. So AWS weekend batch is going to start on 20th. And the regular batch, you have to wait for this particular site to get updated. Okay. Clear, Ganesh?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
Participants, very important point. There is a WhatsApp group created exclusively for this particular batch. There is a WhatsApp group. I strongly recommend to be part of this particular WhatsApp group. If you are not in this particular WhatsApp group, to get the updates about this particular shell scripting. So WhatsApp community we have created. So to get the updates, about this particular batch, please join the WhatsApp community using the link which I've just posted in the chat box. If you are already there, well and good. Please share it to your friend circle because the live training is absolutely free. Anybody else can also get help. Will help by referring you to a good person. So ask them to join the group. And first come first. Today also we got mails to our support team because of meeting is full. So session starts at 5:30. If you want to secure your seat, if you want to confirm your seat, better to join 5 minutes, okay, before the scheduled time, so that you will not miss the particular session. Okay, clear? Okay. So this is what I have planned for today's session. So you know what is, this is what I have planned for today's session. You know what is shell script. We have learned the process of creating a first shell script, and we have executed the shell script. You know how to execute it. You also know shell is a program which helps in running the commands. We know list of all the shells. You also know the default shell, how to write a comment. Oh, okay. Let's say you want to write a comment in the shell script. Let's say, for example, let's open that particular shell script. Please observe. The file which I have created is sample1.sh. I want to run this sample1.sh. The 4 commands got executed. I don't want date and time to be printed. I don't want date command to be displayed. I don't want the date command to be executed. You can comment that particular command. How to comment that particular command? Open that file, whichever you want to modify using the VI editor. Date command, I don't want to run it. Go to insert mode. Just use hash. When you write hash, that line will not be executed. That's called commenting. Escape. Hold on, double click to save and quit. Now let's run this. sh sample1.sh. Now please observe, we're getting Linux, that is uname, who am I, root, and the host name. Are you getting date? You are not getting the date because I have commented. How to write comments? How to write comments? Hash is used to write a comment. It's a single line comment. There's no multi-line comment as per my understanding. So we all have single line comments. So whenever you want a few lines to be executed, not to be executed, please comment it by using hash. Once you're done practicing, please exit. I am showing you on my VMware. You can also execute that in the cloud as well. Okay. So this, we have met our agenda for today's session. I hope you have enjoyed the session. 1 minute, please. Perfect. I hope you have enjoyed the session. See you tomorrow, where we'll have much more detailed concept. Day by day, we'll get into more technical concepts of shell. Okay. Before closing, one final call. Before closing, one final call before ending today's session. Tushar Deshmukh, how are you?
Yes, I'm good.
Yes, Tushar, your question.
Actually, my question is that what are the differences between shell system and Python script? Which is the best for the industry
Completely
standard?
different. Python is a different language. Okay.
Okay.
Shell is used specially for automation with respect to operating system. Python is used at application level. Okay.
Okay.
Tomorrow we'll have more detailed discussion about what is scripting language and what is programming language. Okay. Why shell? Because why Java is called as programming language. It is not called as scripting language. We have to understand the difference. So tomorrow we'll spend some time understanding scripting language and programming language, and more detailed concepts of shell will be moving on. Day by day, we'll be adding more and more concepts. Okay, Tushar?
Okay. Certainly. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. I hope you have enjoyed the session. See you tomorrow, where we'll continue learning on shell scripting. Have a good time. Thank you very much.